Hey guys, welcome to Economic for Us. Today we will go through the economic current affairs in 2025. First of all, we have to go through our global economic outlook. The IMF is preparing to revise its global growth forecast upwards by the end of the July 2025, citing improving inflation trends and temporary pre-tariff trade activities, but ongoing trade tensions remains a major risk. That the Eurozone could slip into recessions if the US enacts the proposed tariffs of up to 30% on European goods, raising global recession risk. In early April, a global stock market crash occurred triggered by US tariff announcements, marking one of the sharpest downturns since 2020. Now let's move on economic themes in India. Growth and forecast. The United Nations lowered India's GDP growth forecast for 2025 to -6.3, though India remains one of the fastest growing largest economies. Projects that India's growth could exceed 6.5% in, supported by strong capex, consumption tax cuts and likely interest rate cuts. The World Economic Forum similarly designated India as the primary engine of global growth in 2025-26. Inflation and monetary policies. India's retail inflation is projected to dip to record lows in July 2025, with a fiscal year average inflation expected below RBI forecast, possibly enabling accommodative monetary policy. The RBI has begun easy policy in February 2005, lowering lower interest rates from 6.5% amid slowing inflation. Next one is trade and investment. India's trade deficit narrowed in June to about $20.7 billion and driven by lower oil and gold imports and some regulatory restrictions. Niti Aayog proposed relaxing FDI caps on Chinese firms to 24%, signaling a potential that in India-China economic relationship. And at last, structural reforms and leadership. Sanjeev Sanayal, the Economic Advisor Council, advocates for a major structural pushes of infrastructure, trade deals and ease for business reforms to sustain a faster growth. The 2025 Union Budget tabled on 1st February 2025 included a full tax rebate up to 12.75 lakh and set a key fiscal targeting including a deficit at 4.4% of GDP and government debt at 56.1% of GDP. Now we can analyze what are the major current economic affairs as per July 19, 2025. On the basis of the trade agreements, the India-European Free Trade Association, that is EFTA, and Trade and Economic Partnership Agreement, that is TEPA, is set to come into force from October 1st, 2025. India has completed the fifth round of the talks with the United States on a proposed bilateral trade agreement and aims to finalize an interim deal by August 1st. On the basis on the fiscal policy, the Union Budget estimates total receipts excluding the borrowings at rupees 34.96 lakh crores and expenditure at rupees 50.65 lakh crore. The government has proposed initiative to boost the investment and infrastructure, including the second asset monetization plan of 2025-30 and extent of the Jal Jeevan mission. In the trade and geopolitics in the global level, global economic growth faces challenges from increased protectionism and trade restrictions. According to the OECD Economic Outlook, the US-China trade war continues to be impact global supply of the chains and markets. In the global economy, the IMF projects the global growth rate at 3.3% for both 2025 and 26, though with a divergent outlook between the countries. Service inflation remains a factor complicating monetary policy for normalization. So that's all for today, guys. Thank you for your time. Follow for more crucial economic contents. Thank you for watching.